Welcome. My name is Charlie C. I believe most of us get to a point where we wonder what would it be like to go out on our own. Some of us have the courage to do that, and some of us rather stay with our current firm. That firm that seems to be treating us well, but we would like to become a little bit more valuable. But for those that aren't 100% satisfied with their position, or their take-home pay for that matter, and feel that there's a better world out there for us, one in which we have control, the real question becomes, when is it the right time for us to make the move? Look, forming a business requires being honest about your abilities and understanding all the components needed to run an architectural practice. It goes beyond the architectural skills we have into business skills that we haven't developed yet. So let's be clear. No one has every skill that's required to run a business. As a CEO, you will need to put processes in place that will give you the information you need to keep track of your workflow, your staff, and any of your necessary financials, which we know that's most critical. What's most important is how you keep your hand on the pulse of your practice and anticipate difficulties so you're prepared for them. Don't shortcut the process. It ultimately leads to missed information and very bad decisions. The desire to start your firm may outweigh the reasoning of when the correct time to start your firm is. Do you have the skills to deliver the services that you will need to provide? Do you have enough training in design, problem solving, providing documentation necessary to build a building? And what you're going to find out is going to be most important to all of us is the marketing and presentation skills. Do you have that, and can you be competitive? If not, you may need support. And if you do need support, don't be afraid to go out and get it. Even if you've been working for another firm for many years and you've developed competent architectural and construction skills, I'm sure you don't have all the skills required to run a business. So, what is the correct timing for your move? Be honest with yourself. Do you have work to start? Do you have enough capital to venture out on your own? And how much do you need? You'll need to understand your personal monthly expenses and anticipate your monthly business expenses to understand how much capital you will need to start. Now, as we understand, it usually takes 30 to 60 days after you bill a client to receive cash. So, if it takes you a month to produce a bill and 2 months to get cash, 3 to 4 months worth of reserve seems reasonable to start. That's assuming that you will be working on a billable project immediately and you can bill after the first month. So let me say, I'm not one of those that agree with those that just quit their job, don't have work, have a small project with no understanding of where their next project will come from, and cast caution to the wind and start their firm anyway. I'm a prepper. I think you need to evaluate the money that you have in reserve against the work you have or potential work, and make sure you have sufficient income capable of sustaining your business and personal life before you get started. Evaluate your strengths and weaknesses. Do you have skills to work on your own? What size projects can you handle? Do you have a market that you're experienced in, and can you be competitive in it? Do you have any clients that are willing to follow you? Extremely important if you have a number of clients that are willing to be a part of your new venture. As far as income is concerned, do you have any income when you start? Do you have projects to work on, and what will the billing be like in the future? If you don't have to be that far out, but at least have some confidence that you do have potential projects out there. If not, do you have any passive income streams that can help you? And as far as your expenses are concerned, how much money do you need to live in your personal life. There's really two streams here that we're going to talk about: personal expense profiles and a business expense profile. Once you put those two profiles together and you understand what is required, you will be able to get a monthly cash flow understanding and then understand how much money you actually would need in reserve. Will you work from home or rent space? Do you have all the necessary tools like computers, plotters, furniture, printers, and any other equipment that you might need? What are the costs for rent if you're going to work somewhere else? Utilities, legal and accounting fees, professional licenses, marketing materials, which could get to be very expensive. And then, of course, we all know we have to buy insurance. General liability, workman's compensations, errors and omissions insurance, and so forth. So you really need to take the time to put these costs down and any costs that you would anticipate. And in order to identify your financial needs once you leave your current position or whatever company that you're in. Once you're all done, you need to create a monthly break even, like I had mentioned before, for both your personal and your business needs. There are so many software programs out there to assist you in creating both your personal and your business monthly cash flow requirements. So I'm not here to endorse any of those programs. Any of the more notable ones can help you with this effort. But my intention is to reduce your risk by getting you informed. Once you have a monthly cash flow, then you need to multiply it by 4. That's the amount of reserve cash you should have to help you survive for 4 months. Now, some people say 6 months, some people say 8 months. I mean, that's something that depends on your situation. And if you're going to move with 1 or 2 employees and you have a couple of really nice projects, you may want to expand that reserve amount a little bit. If you consider that it'll take a month to bill, if you're working on a project directly, when you start, it will take a month or 2 usually to receive cash. If by the end of 4 months you can't pay the bills and need to go deep into your cash, then there's something seriously wrong. The next thing that you need to do is to have a relationship with the bank. A bank that's willing to work with you and work with a startup company and give you a line of credit. The best scenario is that your financial institution will allow you to stretch out the payments as far into the future as you can. A small payment per month is what you're looking for, and have them stretch that out as far as they possibly can to help you get started. So then this way you can afford to take care of that very small nut every month. And if your company does well, which I believe it will, you'll be able to pay off that debt rather quickly. The other things to consider here is that there are low interest loans out there for startup businesses. Some of the startup businesses and even federal organizations give either grant money or low interest loans to women-owned businesses, minority businesses, other small businesses, veteran-owned businesses. So I think you may want to look into that a little bit further. And you really want to look for the best places for you to get money to start. Some loans will actually allow you to include some of the monthly operational costs into the loan that you're getting. So you wouldn't have to come up with any cash out of your own pocket to start. And that would basically extend your lifeline, so to speak. If you have a favorable loan that covers most of your costs, and if you manage to put away enough capital to handle your personal finances, the most important, most difficult, most frustrating part of your decisions have been made. One thing that you need to do is to develop an advisory team. Architecture and business is a team sport. Before you consider leaving your current employer for whatever circumstances you have, you need to develop an advisory team. Your team will become your trusted group, your lawyer, your accountant, your insurance agent, and the banker. They'll be the core members of your advisory team. These professionals will help you set up your practice and be involved in advising you throughout your company's lifetime. Choose them carefully. Do they have other architects with whom they're working? Do they have the experience that you need? With the help of your advisory team, select a name and legal structure and register it. Your accountant and your lawyer will help you with that. I mean, a legal name, I think, is something that you probably already come up with, but what type of company you should be, I think, deserves a discussion, and there obviously has tax consequences. And then you have to open a company bank account, hopefully get a line of credit or a startup loan, whatever is going to help you keep your company going. And then you have to obtain any licenses that you require to, I guess, set yourself up as a business. What insurances do you need to start? There's your insurance agent. He's going to be telling you, or she's going to be telling you what you need in order to have proper amount of coverage to protect yourself and your family. Then you need to get any collateral material ready, such as business cards, letterheads, resumes. This may sound a bit early, but if you get some of these things out of the way up front, it will give you time to do what is most important. Get the work and do the work. Right now, where will you work? Do you know? Will you work at your home? Will you rent something? Can you afford to rent something up front? You have to understand and set up your workplace so you're ready to begin work as soon as possible. Do you need clerical help, or do you need someone who is going to be doing your books? And will that affect the cost of your company and be a part also of your break even? And let me just say, while I'm thinking about it, just the thought about reputation for a minute. How you leave a company to start your practice is as important as why you left it. If you'll have anything in the future, it's your reputation. So let's say you're at a firm for many years and that you have built an excellent reputation. Are you currently working with clients on a project that, if you leave, will affect their success? Will this affect your relationship with them? Will you leave your current employer abruptly, and in doing so, leave on bad terms? That's a mistake. How does this affect your exit? How do you know that at some time in the future, if they have projects that they can't handle, they don't end up giving those to you? You certainly don't want to hurt a client relationship, nor do you want to leave on bad terms with your current employer. Clients are difficult to get, but with the poor reputation, they're impossible to get. You need to anticipate a time when leaving would not be an issue. Now, I know that that's not always the easiest thing to do, and there are some firms that no matter what you do, they're going to feel that they've been slighted. So there's just something that you have to think through. As far as what kind of firm that you want to be, there's so many options in creating a firm. You may have worked with some engineers that have your thoughts of starting their own firm. Do you consider joining together and providing a full service firm? Maybe that's something that would help you all get started much quicker and be able to cross-introduce you to various clients in different market segments. We brought in partners that on their own didn't have the skills to start a practice. Joining their talents with other talents and with our talents increased our business exponentially. Venturing out on your own can be very rewarding if you plan it correctly. We planned our firm to provide a complete team. It was going to be a multidisciplined firm from the start. You may decide to do that, or decide that you're going to have a number of architects join you, or go out on your own. I know each partner that we had major skills to add to the team, including business. What we didn't have, we had time certainly to learn in the very early days. So in summary, what you need to do is to evaluate your strengths and weaknesses, develop a plan if you need to supplement your weaknesses, put together your personal and business expenses, understand the monthly break-even costs and how much you need to keep in reserve to give you enough cushion to get you started. You need to develop an advisory team. One of the most important things that I could stress here is that you need to surround yourself with a team that's smarter than you are and will help you satisfy all of the legal and startup tasks that you'll need so you can focus on what's most important. That's getting and doing work. You also need to establish a relationship with the bank or lending institution to cover your startup costs and operational expenses. Get some of the startup items out of the way, such as licenses, legal, business location, equipment, marketing materials specifically, logos, mission statements, anything that's all up front that you know that you're going to have to repeatedly be asked for by a client. Get it out of the way up front so that you could concentrate on your business. So if I haven't confused you enough yet, let me help. I've created a system called a time and cost method. It outlines the processes and systems that I used in being part of a startup company that grew to 175 employees in 3 offices, and we did work throughout the United States and in several other countries. And we developed a clientele that still wants to work with us and work with me specifically, even after I'm retired. And I'll share that with you some other time. We had clientele that helped my company bill over 8 figures a year, and we did it in a very short time. That's why I call my system the Architectural Business Accelerator. Most firms don't last because they didn't have a realistic plan. They don't know what was required to run a successful practice, and that's where the time and cost method comes in. What I have created is a complete system to help architects that want to start a practice or architects wanting to advance their position in an existing firm. As an example, learning more about project management or marketing, etc., or those architectural firms with a few employees, how to manage a firm properly and how to accelerate their growth. Believe me, we started growing so quickly, we were multiplying, and there is a way to do that if you want to get that large. Some people don't. From evaluation to project management, to money management, to business development, and creating relationships, to eventually what I have included is a 3-tier investing program. I've created a community where we can all discuss our trials and help each other. After 45 years in business, I've heard just about everything and quite a lot of excuses why firms have failed, when in reality, they did not follow a system, they weren't in touch with their company, and just kept doing the same old thing until things dried up. I don't want that to be you. I'm here to help. The key is knowledge and preparation. So if you can get the knowledge of a massive, major firm and input that into your firm, you're going to be successful. So come check out my platform, the Architectural Business Accelerator, and join our ABA community where we can help each other succeed. Come check us out. I know it will help. I hope I see you soon.